Good morning. My name is Tiffany Stevenson, and I am the Chief Marketing Officer for Protein Industries Canada. Thank you for joining us this morning for what will be Protein Industries Canada's last announcement of 2020. We have a number of our partners online with us today who will make remarks about their upcoming project. We will then have each participant available for questions from the media at the end, with the exception of Minister Merritt, who does have to step away. Media will have opportunity to ask questions at the end of the presentation. We ask that you use the raise your hand function, and I will then facilitate the questions. So with that, I will pass it over to Bill Gruel.
Great, thanks Tiffany. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me okay. So good morning everyone, and welcome to Protein Industry Canada's 14th project announcement. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that I'm joining you today from Regina, which is on Treaty 4 territory, the original lands of the Cree, Ojibwe, Saulteaux, Dakota, Nakota, and Lakota, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. As we all approach the end of what's been a very challenging year and one that's preventing us from meeting in person, I will say that I'm very pleased to have so many people joining us virtually today. In just over 2 years of existence, and together with our more than 40 industry partners, Protein Industries Canada has committed more than $270 million to the Canadian plant protein sector. This is across a diverse set of projects that range from seed development all the way to consumer packaged goods. And even after 14 project announcements, we're just as excited to be making today's as we were our first. And we're just as excited with every new project idea that comes across our desks. And we can't tell you how appreciative we are with all the support that we've received from industry and government and our stakeholders. We wouldn't have achieved success without you. This new project represents a significant step forward in Canada's transition from a commodity provider to a globally recognized leading supplier of plant-based ingredients. Today, I'm pleased to announce a partnership between Avena Foods, Big Mountain Foods, Daiya Foods, Bakenology, and the Village Bakery to develop new applications for Avena Foods' proprietary tempered pulse flours. Their flours will be used in the development of pulse-based egg replacements and have the potential to be applied in a wide range of food products such as bakery items, extruded snacks, and plant-based meat analogs. Today, we've invested $6.3 million into this project to better understand the nutritional and functional attributes of these ingredients and which pulse varieties serve the best for processing. The project will also provide knowledge to the overall industry on how to optimize processing methods and formulate end products. Canadian companies Big Mountain Foods and Daiya Foods will utilize these flours in the development of new products for the growing vegan and flexitarian markets, both in North America and overseas. And meanwhile, Bakenology and the Village Bakery, both based in the United Kingdom, will utilize the Canadian plant-based ingredients in the formulation of food products that will be shipped across Europe. Having more of our plant-based ingredients enter the international supply chains is a key step to Canada's evolution from a commodity provider to a supplier of high-quality, sustainably grown and produced ingredients. The global market for plant-based products grows at a fast pace every year. Over the next 5 years, worldwide consumption of plant-based protein is expected to nearly double. Due to both the quality of our raw materials and our industry's ability to add value to our production, Canada is in a prime position to help meet the demand and take advantage of this opportunity. Making that potential a reality will not only elevate the Canadian agri-food sector, but also greatly boost the Canadian economy. Studies show that if we process an additional 20% of our crop production in Canada, we can add more than $12 billion to our economy every year. And this project is yet another step we take in that direction. I'd like to congratulate Avena Foods, Big Mountain Foods, Daiya Foods, Bakenology, and the Village Bakery on the partnership you have established, and to thank you for doing so while participating in advancing our industry and our country. I'd also like to thank our Protein Industries Canada staff involved in this project, Chris Anderson, our Chief Technology Officer, Cassandra Quayle, our Chief Financial Officer, and of course, Lisa Campbell, who worked with the partners to help develop this project. And finally, I'd like to thank Minister Baines and Innovation, Science and Industry Canada and the Government of Canada for their support of Protein Industries Canada and our partners. It's now with great pleasure that I would like to introduce a video from Ali Assani, Member of Parliament for Willowdale, Ontario, and the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry. Mr. Assasi was first elected as the Member of Parliament in 2015, being one of the first two Canadians of Iranian heritage to ever be elected to Canada's federal parliament. Born in Geneva and raised in New York City and Tehran, Mr. Assasi moved to North York with his family in his early teens. Before entering politics, Mr. Assasi worked as a lawyer in the private sector and as a public servant in the provincial and federal levels. A proven community leader, he's worked hard to strengthen the local economy and bring investments to local and sustainable infrastructure and support Canada's strong position on human rights around the world. I would like to thank him and his team at Innovation, Science and Industry for participating in today's announcement.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to join you virtually today to celebrate another exciting project from Canada's protein industry's supercluster. It's now been 2 years since the government launched the Innovation Superclusters initiative, marking a big shift for both industry and government. To succeed in today's global and innovation-driven economy, countries like Canada have to identify and support areas of true strength, whether it be clusters of knowledge, economic activity, or research expertise. The Canadian superclusters embody that support. From large anchor firms to small and medium-sized enterprises to academia and other government organizations, we wanted to foster strong and robust connections among all players in the innovation ecosystem because we know full well that's where the best and boldest ideas come to life. It all came about as a result of an ambitious $950 million co-investment with industry. And I'm proud to say this investment is paying off for all Canadians. In just 2 short years, the superclusters has led to the approval of more than 255 innovative projects across the country, involving over 790 project participants, of which I might add, over half are SMEs. It's also engaged over 4,600 members across Canada and created more than 6,100 new jobs. Today, it's my pleasure to talk to you about one of these exciting new projects. Through an investment of more than $3.1 million from Protein Industries Canada, Avena Foods and its partners are undertaking a $6.3 million project to test and develop new applications for Avena's proprietary tempered pulse flours. Daiya Foods, Big Mountain Foods, Bakenology, and the Village Bakery are joining forces with Avena. The potential market for tempered pulse flours is growing, and a strong supply chain, including Canadian farmers, technical experts, and food manufacturers, are already in place. Canada is capable of seizing this opportunity, but with the market still in its early stages of infancy, knowledge gaps have been identified throughout the supply chain. This project seeks to address those gaps and help these plant-based ingredients reach their full potential. For example, farmers will receive clear information on the types of pulses to grow, as well as on the specs demanded by food processors. Workers in operations and engineering departments will better understand how to optimize processing equipment for quality and efficiency. And potential customers will be able to incorporate these functional ingredients and experience the benefits they provide in food manufacturing. So I'm very optimistic and very excited about today and the announcement we are making. It's another great example of the progress being made by our superclusters. They have brought together incredibly curious, innovative, and hardworking people to create real and tangible benefits for all Canadians. Before I end, I'd like to congratulate Bill Gruhl and his formidable team for their hard work and for really having stepped up to assume a leadership role. Let me also congratulate Avena Foods and its partners for undertaking this innovative project. Your work is important, it's meaningful, and it's having a real impact. Thank you, and best of luck to you.
I would now like to introduce a very special guest, Saskatchewan's Agriculture Minister, the Honourable David Marit, on behalf of the Government of Saskatchewan. The Honourable David Marit was appointed Saskatchewan's Minister of Agriculture in August of 2018 and was recently reappointed as the Minister of Agriculture this past October. He's also served as the Minister of Highways and Infrastructure and Minister responsible for Sask Builds and Priority Saskatchewan. As an active producer until just last year and still remaining a proud landowner, he has first-hand understanding of the agriculture industry. I'd like to thank him for taking the time to be with us today, and I look forward to hearing what he has to say. Minister Marit, please take it away. Oh, Minister, I think you're on mute.
Okay, I know they had muted me. Can you hear me now, Bill? Good, okay. Thanks, Bill, and thanks for the invite to be here. It really is a pleasure and an honor for me to be here on behalf of the Government of Saskatchewan. And we're getting to see each other a lot, Bill, which is actually pretty nice. This is the third time, actually, in probably the last month that Protein Industry Canada has made announcements here in the province of Saskatchewan. And it's encouraging, and I just want to thank your organization for investing in companies here in the province of Saskatchewan. And I'm really excited, today about the announcement of $6.3 million investment here in the province of Saskatchewan. And I think it really speaks well of the opportunities for the value-added processing here in the province of Saskatchewan and the importance in seeing that sector grow. So obviously the announcement today will create new opportunities for the processing side and really help our reaching our targets and our goals of 2030 where we want to get to. But probably the biggest thing that I really want to also say is it really gives an opportunity for the producers here in the province of Saskatchewan to to market their products locally and see the processing happen here. And it's really something that I've always, as a farmer, always wanted to see, and to see it happening now is very encouraging. So. And I think really, capturing the value added side is something that our government really wants to see the industry grow, and we will. And I think it just aligns with our growth strategy of really trying to reach that value added processing of $10 billion and processing over 50% of what we grow here in the province of Saskatchewan. So I really want to take this opportunity to thank Protein Industry Canada and their partner Avena Foods for pursuing the new uses in Saskatchewan here. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the other partners, Big Mountain Foods, Daiya Foods, Bakenology, and of course the Village Bakery, who will be using Avena's pulse flour in their products. So I really look forward to this exciting partnership and what comes out of it, and look forward to seeing their products on the shelves. And I really want to applaud the organizations for working together and collaboratively on this. I think that's an important message to really convey to everybody. But once again, I just want to take this opportunity to thank Protein Industry Canada, but also thank the stakeholders for really reaching out and making the investments here in the province of Saskatchewan and seeking those opportunities. And I'm excited by it, and I look forward to more. And anytime you want to make announcements like this, I'll gladly take the time to come on, Bill. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you and your team as well for the work you're doing to really grow the ag sector, not only here in the province of Saskatchewan, but across Canada. So on behalf of Saskatchewan, thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Minister Marit, for your kind words. I know that you have committee to get to, so you have to go, but thank you so much for the support. I'd now like to hand things over to Gord Flayton. Gord's the CEO of Avena Foods. Gord.
Great, thanks a lot, Bill. I should just make sure everybody can hear me. We're good? Good. Hey, thanks, Bill, and Protein Industries Canada and Mr. Merritt and everybody involved. Good morning, everybody, and good afternoon to our UK friends. I'll give you just a brief introduction to Avena Foods. We're a specialty miller that provides food, pet food, and nutraceutical manufacturers with sustainably grown and milled oat and pulse ingredients. We operate 3 processing facilities in one of the world's best crop growing regions. We have an oat processing mill here in Regina, Saskatchewan, a pulse cleaning mill, pea splitting plant, and oat cleaning mill in Rowett, Saskatchewan, and a pulse flour and fiber mill in Portage-la-Prairie, Manitoba. As a Western Canadian farm kid myself, I have the great pleasure of leading Avena, bringing the harvested oats, peas, lentils, chickpeas, and other pulses of several hundred of the world's best farmers to customers around the globe. The oats operation of Avena was started early this century by a group of progressive farmers who foresaw the demand for guaranteed gluten-free oat ingredients. The pulse side of the business was founded by the grandfather of our current Vice President of Sales and Marketing, Margaret Hughes. Stephen Heel started the family business in 1936. His son Jeff designed and built the prototype line to produce unique pulse flours. And then Jeff's 3 daughters, including Margaret, and dedicated staff turned that prototype into the proven early commercial success that is the foundation of today's discussion. So there's a great history behind Avena and this project. We are thrilled to be launching this project to exploit the potential of tempered flours. Avena mills whole pulses and oats, an approach that has nutritional and environmental benefits. These ready-to-eat flours have specific functionality for targeted application. And as one example, Avena's pulse egg replacer is used to replace fresh or powdered eggs and egg white powders in foods and pet foods. This allows manufacturers to eliminate an allergen and reduce food safety risk, and in many cases lower their costs. Pulse egg replacer may also be used in formulations of healthy options for vegan and allergy-free diets. Almost all foods that use flour, and even some that don't, might benefit from the nutritional, environmental, and functional benefits of these ingredients. The overarching goal of our project is to build and expand on this proven innovation by increasing knowledge and testing throughout the supply chain, from crop inputs to consumer products. We need further information in 3 main areas that this project will help to provide. The first is the nutritional and functional variables of tempered flours and how best to measure and control them. The second area is the optimal equipment and configuration for scaled up production. And the third is the market potential and how best to introduce these ingredients successfully to end users in many regions of the world. We're starting from a very strong position, already producing and selling some of these tempered flours. We've worked together with several customers to find an ingredient solution so they can launch new consumer products. But support from Protein Industries Canada is especially critical to a local homegrown company like Avena, as we invest in the research and development and other work to fully exploit this opportunity. Without Protein Industries Canada, it would be much more difficult and slower to develop Avena's tempered flours into a broader, innovative suite of clean label, nutritious, and functional ingredients for food and beverage manufacturers. And the opportunities for farmers in Western Canada would be that much slower to come as well without the support of Protein Industries Canada. One of our 4 core values at Avena is to collaborate to do great things with customers, farmers, and colleagues. In addition to Protein Industries Canada, this project requires help from our customers, farmers, employees, service providers, technical experts, and most importantly, our project collaborators, whom you will now meet. We're very happy to be working with our friends from Big Mountain Foods, Daiya Foods, Bakenology, and the Village Bakery. Our colleague, Michelle Briggs, is now going to speak on behalf of the Village Bakery. Michelle is our Director of Sales and Business Development in the UK, where, like so many of the rest of us, she's been at home for about 9 months, itching to get out. So I'll pass the microphone over to Michelle.
Thanks, Gord. Can everybody hear me okay? Fab. As Gord said, nobody from the Village Bakery could come, unfortunately, so being over here in the UK, I've been deputised to give you a brief introduction. Now, I've had the pleasure of working with the Village Bakery for probably 10 years. And in that time, I've seen the family-grown business, it's grown to be one of the largest bakeries in Wales. Now, quality for them is key. They make sure nothing's missed in terms of achieving the product that consumers want. Now, whether that's ensuring that they're using the absolute best quality ingredients, they're super careful about their production methods, or perfecting a slow dough method. Now, unlike traditional bread, they really give time for their dough to ferment properly, because if you let the yeast ferment, they taste and they look amazing. So for them, it's not so much cost, it's all about quality. Now, as that business is growing, they identified the need for gluten-free, and they now have a state-of-the-art gluten-free factory. They can make the full range of bakery products that are safe for the growing gluten-free market. Now, it's in this new factory that the PIC project will focus. And I have a message to read from Florence Roberts, who is the MPD gluten-free manager for Village Bakery, because unfortunately she couldn't attend. It says, the Village Bakery is delighted to be involved in the project and will have a specific focus on gluten-free bread and roll development. Our aim is to replace eggs with clean label pulse flours to enable us to produce vegan products that do not compromise taste or quality. Now, knowing the Village Bakery do, they certainly will not let quality or taste be impacted. Back to you, Gord.
Great, thanks very much, Michelle. I hope everybody could hear it's amazing when the technology works, and I think we got most of the message there, so thanks very much. I'm now going to pass the virtual microphone over to Jasmine Byrne from Big Mountain Foods. Thanks very much, everybody.
Good morning to everyone. Can you hear me okay? Awesome. My name is Jasmine Byrne, Vice President of Big Mountain Foods, located in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. Our founder, Kimberly Chamberlain, and I are very honored to be a part of this diverse and strong consortium. The core fundamentals at Big Mountain Foods is to always stay true to the use of plant-based ingredients, and more specifically, Canadian pulses. Our product line currently includes fresh meat alternatives, including sausages, bites, patties, and crumbles, all made without the use of common allergens, but more specifically, clean label. To give you an example of how we can incorporate tempered pulses functionally into our products is to eliminate gluten, which is a priority allergen, in replacement of an Avena product. Our goal at Big Mountain is to work alongside Avena and the other partners in a collaborative environment to create not only replacement applications for pulse flours, but to also create groundbreaking innovation for the future of food. We are confident that over the span of this project, Big Mountain will introduce new and exciting innovation to the global market using Avena's new technologies. Furthermore, we all share a common value to create a more sustainable and healthier world with the use of Canadian pulses. I am now honored to introduce a fellow Vancouverite and an individual who has certainly paved the way for many of us in the plant-based industry, Paul Wong, the Chief Innovation Officer at Daiya Foods. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine. Can you guys hear me? Anyways, I want to give you a little introduction about Daiya Foods. We are still a relatively new company. We only started in 2008. I mean, and time passes so quickly, and we're actually going to be starting. We have a 400,000 square foot plant we're going to be opening in January. The manufacturing started, and we're actually building our own innovation center there as well. So we have the belief that plant-based foods is better for our health, better for the planet, and better for animal welfare. We are an industry leader in innovation, plant-based foods, and our products are free from dairy, gluten, and soy, and many of the other common allergens. Daiya Food began as a pioneer in plant-based cheese products, and we have evolved as an innovator in many other categories for all eating occasions, including gluten-free pizza, frozen desserts, mac and cheese burritos, salad dressing, and more. Our products can be found in over 25,000 grocery stores in North America, mostly in the US, that's where we sell our product, but we also sell in the UK, Australia, Mexico, and Hong Kong, and more. As pioneers in the plant-based industry, fueling innovation is one of our core values, and we continue to pursue and achieve the impossible with passion, purpose, and curiosity with new ingredients. Avena Foods is a welcome innovation partner with us, and we're always looking for new functional ingredients, and this is where it gets really exciting. And thank you to Protein in Canada and Avena Foods. We're very fortunate to become a partner and work with you guys to develop some of the best products. One of the things we found is that, you know, anyone can make, you know, products, but to make products taste really good that's where the key is to becoming successful. We only get one chance to get the consumer into the product, to try the product, and they don't like it. I mean, they're not going to buy it again. And this is where we think we can be successful with our team of scientists and innovation people. So one of the things is that, you know, we're really excited to become part of this, and, you know, and as you can tell, you know, we're chomping at the bit to try the new ingredients. You know, we're waiting as fast as we can, Gord, to get new ingredients for us. So hurry up. Having said that, you know, we're so excited that you have a great team of people to collaborate with, and I'm going to also introduce Ken. I guess Ken is not going to be here in person, but he's going to be able to share something with us on a video. So thank you very much.
Hello there, I'm Ken Laglor from Bakenology Blends. We're a small company based in the UK which develops customised, concentrated ingredient blends for bakery manufacturers, particularly those producing sweet and specialty baked goods. We're proud and excited to be part of this Avena PIC project. It will give us direct access to pulse and legume processors and the ability to assess their proteins in the development of an egg replacement blend for use in free-from products. Identifying raw materials that have similar functionalities to those of whole eggs, especially foaming, which are acceptable to vegans, is a real challenge. However, we're encouraged by initial results coming from a test bakery, and we're on track to launch our first egg substitute ingredient specifically for baked goods during 2021.
Okay, thank you. That brings to the formal end of our program. I will pass it over to Bill Gruel to make a few closing comments, but if media have questions, you may ask them now by using the raise your hand function, and I will call on you in order. So Bill, any closing comments before we get to questions?
Yeah, no, just thanks everybody for the optimism and excitement around this project. It's really great to see, and I see already Neil has a question, so probably that's better to go to them than listen to me.
Okay, Neil. Gabriel, can you please unmute Neil Billinger, and we can go ahead with your question. Oh, now he's muted. We can unmute Neil, please.
Okay, let's see. Is that working now?
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Finally.
Yeah,
okay. You'll have to excuse my basic question here because I just want to get a firm handle on this. Tempered pulse flours, what exactly are they? How are they different from, you know, the traditional pulse flours? Just a sort of a simple explanation, if that's possible.
Yeah, sure thing. We're actually joined by Margaret Hughes, our Vice President of Sales and Market Development. So she's answered this question many times. I'm going to call on her.
So tempered pulse flours are unusual in that they've been treated with time, temperature, and moisture to actually produce a product that has altered functionality, that's clean analytically, so can actually be ready to eat, but can do something like replace, say, an egg. So we use a whole pulse ingredient that goes through a specific treatment that allows that ingredient to be used to replace another functional product.
Okay, so yeah, that seems like a pretty basic explanation. Now the goal is to help people have a wider range of products that have allergies and don't want to have meat in their products. Is that a fair statement?
That's right. So they're plant-based. They provide those same functionalities where you might be relying on like an egg, and they're allergy friendly. So that's right.
Okay, and where are we at right now in the research? Are we? I think I caught that there has already been some products, tempered flour products, being produced right now. Where are we at on the road to all of this?
Well, it's quite exciting because there are 2 products on the market that use these ingredients. And what we did was we actually worked with a commercial partner to develop a product through our system that they could use to replace egg. So they replaced an egg white in a gelatin with our ingredient, and we're able to make something, a product that's plant-based. I also know that Jasmine's company, Big Mountain Food, has been working on a prototype with one of their co-manufacturers and have had really good success in a product. And I guess I shouldn't really say what that product is. But we have had another large gluten-free manufacturer came to us and said, look, we want to get rid of soy protein isolate. And we said, well, we think we can help you. Let's try this ingredient made from beans. And we worked with them and they said, well, actually we needed to have better viscosity. So we were able to provide exactly what they needed to replace soy protein isolate in all their gluten-free breads. So Avena is really focused on partnering with customers to produce exactly what they need so they can create really good products. Because Paul's right, if they don't taste good and consumers don't like them, you don't get a second shot at it.
Now, is this all being done out of the plant at Portage La Prairie? Is that where all these products are coming from, or are they coming from Regina as well?
A lot of our raw materials are from Saskatchewan. The edible beans, of course, are mainly from Manitoba, just because that's a better place for them to grow. You know, the climate is more conducive to growing beans. The processing itself is done in Manitoba, but we do have a system in Regina that we use to treat our oats, which we think might help us to develop and broaden the range of pre-cooked flours that we do, or tempered flours. So it is a project that is we've got our feet in both provinces, both Manitoba and Saskatchewan.
I would just add, Neil, too, that a lot of the work we've done so far has been focused on a particular kind of bean. And what we're trying to do in this project is expand the number of crops that we are knowledgeable about and have potential in the market. So we'll be looking at things like lentils, chickpeas, other types of beans, peas, yellow and green peas, and oat flour also.
I'll do one more question, and then if somebody else wants to ask questions, that would be great. In regards to the potential market for these products, it's very specialized, but we're talking a global market. So we're looking at potentially some pretty big numbers here.
Yeah, the potential market is huge, really. When you think of there are hundreds of millions of tons of flour consumed in the world, and there's no reason why these types of flours couldn't be used in a lot of those products. If you look only even at the egg replacer market or gluten-free flours, that's certainly in the hundreds of millions of pounds, which would be a huge market for Western Canadian farmers and value-added industries like ours.
I'm fine. Anybody else want to ask some questions?
Okay, thanks, Neil. We do have a question that I will pose to Bill from Kara Osterhout from Real Ag, and it is, why is it important for Protein Industries Canada to have companies invest that are abroad? Start with Bill, then if anyone else wants to jump in, we can.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Kara. It's really critical for us because, we're sitting on 60 million metric tons of crop production on an annual basis here in Western Canada. We're one of 5 jurisdictions that's a global exporter of food. Today, of course, that's mostly raw seed. But if we're wildly successful in the formation of high quality ingredients, we still need export partners to utilize that product. So working with companies in the UK that have access to that market and the EU market is critical for us. Working with Daiya Foods that has, Paul talked about the distribution of their food products, it's global. It's really critical for us to diversify our markets, and we're not going to eat all of the products that we produce in Western Canada. So the collaboration with export partners and companies that have a global reach is really critical for us.
Thanks, Bill. Does anyone else want to jump in on that question, or are we good? Okay. Are there any other media that have questions? If so, you can raise your hand now, or you can use the chat function, whatever you prefer. Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions come in. Okay. We'll do one last call, and then if we have no more questions, we can say goodbye to everyone and thank you for joining us. So media, one last call. Oh, hold on. Okay, Kara will take that offline. We can answer that question and we'll just do follow-up interviews. So that brings the formal end of the program. So thank you everyone for joining us this morning and for our last announcement of 2020, and we look forward to 2021.